This is happening right now on I-35 and 44th Street. Storm chaser Nick Smith is here on the scene. You can see a live picture there. We're learning more about one of the EF1 tornadoes that touched down in Seminole and caused quite a bit of damage. The National Weather Service says the tornado caused damage that stretched about 2 miles. You can see some of that here. New this morning, your holiday travel is going to be just a little bit cheaper this year. AAA says the average gas prices in Oklahoma are less expensive than anywhere else in the nation. Later today, you may be seeing a lot of that. Hopefully you see a lot of that. Today's the day the number 2 Oklahoma Sooners taking on the number 3 Georgia Bulldogs in the Rose Bowl, only a few hours away now.
I know. We've been talking about this forever right now.
In just the last 5 minutes or so, we've noticed that people have started to walk over this bridge. And we're told these were people that were either in the restaurant or in that area. But a lot of people were here at work today. They heard and saw this. Now, I want to show you right over here. This is actually a garage, but we don't see any officers out here in this part. Now, the other scene, I'm going to walk you over this way, and a good citizen was able to grab that kid out. I just talked to the fire department a few minutes ago. They say this is a miracle. This is up to my ankles. So this is at least 2 or 3 inches worth of water here. Now, what this suspect is doing is going up to parked pickup trucks like this one. He then takes down the tailgate here and then uses a tool like this to completely remove it. That woman tells me she looked down the barrel of a gun and she had no choice but to comply. She says that her 2-year-old daughter was behind this counter. All the focus now, though, is on Donald Trump. A lot of people huddled around TVs. Justin Abigail, that woman tells me she is still very shaken up. Now, all of this happened right here in the middle of her driveway, just feet from her front door there, inside of this car. Beverly Bedden has always felt safe in the front seat of her car, especially in the driveway of her own home.
You think you're in a good neighborhood. I mean, it's quiet. You can see how quiet it is now.
But her feelings all changed just 2 days ago after she says a teenager pulled a gun on her. It was here at the exact spot she's sitting when she says she noticed a group of 5 people walking up her street.
So I pulled in, parked on my driveway here, and happened to look up and notice that the group of people were now standing in my front yard staring at me.
Bedden says she immediately locked her door as one of them approached.
Then he tapped the gun on the window. When you heard the metal sound clacking against the window, that's when you knew, okay, it's getting real.
The teen motioned for her to get out, but Bedden says for some reason, instead of moving, she froze and stared the guy down. Were you worried you were going to get shot?
Yeah, a little bit. At that point I was. When he pointed it at my head, that's when I really was like, yeah, they're gonna shoot me.
But Bedden says she felt safer in her car and was prepared to run them over if she needed to. But instead, the group got scared and left. Now, Bedden says it almost seems like the group was teaching the teen how to rob somebody. Police arrested that teen shortly after. Reporting live tonight near Northwest 10th and Rockwell, Jonathan Cooper, KOCO 5 News. Justin Abigail, back to you. Paula and Jess, the victim's family, spoke with Anthony Palma here in court today. They asked him where her body is, but he wouldn't tell them. Convicted child killer Anthony Palma.
Family's forgiven you. Why can't you just tell them where her body is?
Not wanting to tell Kirsten Hatfield's family what he did with her body.
Still silent, huh?
Or answer any of my questions, as he learned he will be spending the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole. The sentencing comes a little more than a month after a jury found Palma guilty of murder for killing his neighbor, 8-year-old Kirsten Hatfield, in 1997.
I actually had come to a position of forgiveness about over 8 years ago.
In court today, Kirsten's mother Shannon and sister Faith read letters to Palma telling him they've been praying for him and they forgive him, but also asked for the location of Kirsten's remains.
I hope that that will bring him to a place of telling us so we can lay her to rest.
Palma remains silent and chose not to respond to them, but to the family and district attorney's surprise, Palma waived his right to an appeal.
I appreciate him doing that because this gives some finality to the family. Don't use the word closure because there's no such thing as closure. We'd love to know where Kirsten is.
Put your hands up! This is not the real world.
Get down on the ground!
But rather a staged, high-pressure situation.
Get down on the ground!
Myself, acting as a sheriff's deputy, was placed in a worst-case scenario officers sometimes find themselves in. The simulation is just one of several the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office put me through this morning to give the public an idea how situations can escalate to deadly force.
Even if you see that I have no gun on me, it doesn't mean that I'm not a threat.
Tyler!
For example, look at this other stage scenario.
Get that, stop!
The suspect is running away.
He's my neighbor! Yeah, you gotta get him.
When tackled, he's able to wrestle the gun away from me.
He's not hurt, he's got a medication.
Time, that deal's over.
I'm dead.
We tried to design the scenarios to get everybody to be able to have an insight into law enforcement perspective.
You cannot have a gun here.
Deputies also say it gives us an idea of the stress and adrenaline that goes into the job. And while they say every situation is different, these scenarios show just how dangerous law enforcement can be.
It just kind of goes to show how difficult it is to make those decisions on the fly.
Reporting in Oklahoma City, Jonathan Cooper, KOC 05 News.
Wow.